EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present final round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. It is the final round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the last stop of the Web.com Tour Finals, and what a huge day it is, Frank.
One round will determine whether they graduate from the Web.com or back again here next year. The chance of graduation, though, the richest. Play with the greats of the game, all on play today.
First hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 423-yard par 4. Nice way for players to get started, Frank. Not too demanding, but still, it requires that you put the golf ball off the tee in the right place.
That's correct, Rich. There is a little bit of water down the right, but that's only really for the grandmothers in the field. Anybody else, drive it down the left, 3-wood, even a 2-on if you're a longer hitter, and then a good chance to start with an opening birdie.
Frank, you want to get out of the gates quickly, hit the proper approach shot here at the first. What does the player need to look out for?
Well, there's two distinct levels to this green. There's that left side and then that collection area to the right side. Flag on the top. It's a very, very difficult shot because that bunker plump comes into play.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Putting all of his talents on display here from the rough, and he knocks it really close. Beautiful shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Frank, what do you make of the par 5 second?
Doglegs to the left, so there's a decision to be made here all the time, but a good hooking tee shot, that takes the trees on the left out of play, and even the rough on the right. Good tee shot here. I've seen people get home with as little as a 5-iron.
Frank, as we watch the Web.com Tour Finals, anyone in particular you think could be a breakout star from this group, someone along the lines of a Keegan Bradley?
Well, the golfer I'm watching right now, really, Rich, who's considered a prodigy at the age of 2, and a lot of people in the golf world have just been waiting for this player to come out, and I'm being one of those. Very impressed. The golf swing is excellent, touch, but even the competitive skill. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Good news is, Frank, you can see the golf ball. I guess the bad news is that's kind of an uncertain lie in that mulch.
Yeah, there's nothing really good about that. You'd rather it be in the rough.
Playing his third here at the par 5. This one doesn't look good. Frank, sadly, I've been there too often. In the water, you get down on yourself. What's the right way to approach this mentally?
Well, you've almost got to take a step backwards, Rich. This can add up so quickly. So give yourself a little pat on the back, say it's fine. I mean, you're human. You're allowed to hit bad shots. But the big thing now is to avoid 2 in a row.
Not what you wanted to hear, but this is the 5th shot after the ball went into the water.
Safely on the dance floor.
Settles in over the putt. Finally in for a double bogey. Setting up for the 3rd hole here at TPC Sawgrass, relatively short par 3 at 177 yards.
But you've got to carry that ball at least 4 or 5 yards onto this green, even when it's firm.
Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
And we pick up action at the 4th. Checking in on our featured golfer, and the only thing you can say is, get it together. I mean, this is nasty.
Someone's removed the arms and the legs by the looks of this. This is just all over the place.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. Coming off a bogey here yesterday, chance to make it right. Come on, don't do that.
Cruel lip out.
Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. Did the job right there. Frank, how about this par 4 5th?
I lost count the number of bunkers here, off the tee and sort of in play with the second shot if you're in trouble, or even the one that's sort of left and long. Really good par 4, though. Fairway somehow has to be achieved if you want to reduce this par 4 to just a simple 2-shot.
The second shot now to the par 4.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Ball sitting down here in the rough, he's digging in. How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Has his par. Frank, what are the players facing here at the 6th, 393-yard par 4?
Ideally, you just want to hit that ball about 250 yards. It's going to leave you a shot of sort of 140 yards in. Then the green looks quite big because you're far enough back that those palm trees don't become a problem.
Frank, now the second shot here at hole number 6.
Yeah, not overly long, but be very aware of these palm trees that are short. Many a shot's caught those trees coming into this green.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Always love to hear the sound of the bottom of the cup. 7th hole here at Sawgrass, Frank, a bit uncomfortable off the tee.
It is. It reminds me a little bit of the opening hole, much longer version, where when you stand on the tee and look at the green, it's a straightaway hole. But that fairway goes to the left and it comes back to the right. But they're all optical illusions.
Now the approach to the 7th. Frank, what do you need to be mindful of here?
It's rather narrow in the front of this green, and then there's some mounds both right and left. Be very aware of those mounds. They can actually help you out.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
Frank, on the Web.com Tour, you're not playing in the big cities under the bright lights the way they do on the PGA Tour, but you are playing 72 holes, and you do need to go low, not unlike the PGA Tour, if you want to be successful.
On the outside, it might look like the bare bones of professional golf, but you play for less money. You know, you're driving yourself around, you're paying your own expenses. This is how you find, really, how much you've got. Are you prepared for the long haul? And then whatever you learn over that period of time on the Web.com, you realize, are you tough enough? Are you strong enough? Because all of those skills that develop are what will serve you in great stead on the PGA Tour.
It toughens a player up. We've seen it with guys like Matt Kuchar, with Tom Lehman. Lehman won a major championship. With Zach Johnson, another major champion. These are all guys who had to grind it out on the Web.com Tour before graduating to the PGA Tour. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. So close, just a tap in from there. Going to tap out on this hole for the week for another bogey on this hole. Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Frank, what do you make of the final hole here on the front side, the 583-yard par 5 ninth?
Just depends on how much you want to risk here. If you hit a good drive down the right side, it's certainly gettable for 2. But you can make an absolute mess here at 9. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle. Second shot.
Now the third shot here at the 9th, Frank.
Another very narrow green, not that dissimilar to the first hole. There's a high portion on the left and a low portion on the right.
That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. Now this for birdie. Came away with a bogey on the previous round. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Now on to one of the most exciting back nines in golf here at the TPC Sawgrass and the stadium course. Let's begin at number 10. Frank, and what do you make of this hole?
It's another one where you're just trying to fit the tee shot in the fairway there. It's not a driver, just something that stays right. And of course, we've seen a lot of people stray here down the left side. Who can forget Mickelson when he won his Players Championship, hitting that phenomenal 7-iron out of the fairway bunker through the trees and still finding the putting surface. But speaking of the putting surface, this green has more undulations than just about any green on the golf course.
Frank, you've been around this game for a pretty long time. Are players, in fact, more athletic today than they were, say, 20, 25 years ago?
There's no question, Rich, they are. That we've borrowed from other sports. If you can't make the player better, you can make them more athletic. And in the end, you're still making the golfer better.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
The swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation. Really. This is an awkward length.
Didn't quite have the break on that medium length putt right there. Just a couple of feet.
Rich, you got to tell me what happened. I covered my eyes on that one.
Another bogey. What else? Let's go to the 11th. Now, it's a par 5 and a fun hole, Frank. You can make anything from 3 to 7 here.
And that's why, as the start of the back nine, especially on a Sunday, this becomes such a pivotal hole to start a run. Big body of sand down the left side that sometimes the longer hitters can get close to with the tee shot, but really it's the second shot. If you can reach this par 5 and 2, it's a very narrow green. The layup, well, it's actually an awkward layup, Rich, because you've got to push that ball to the left side, almost like a zigzag approach.
Now the second shot to the par 5. Frank, from this point, it is all about precision.
Yeah, that right side, you're looking at that big gaping bunker. That green's not very deep from that angle.
Wouldn't say he's ecstatic, but not unhappy either.
24 feet. There'll be a lot of players much further away than that on this hole.
That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Up now, hole number 12. It's a short one, 358 yards, par 4.
This can catch you off guard. If you just try and hit the ball on the fairway, if you're on the middle of the fairway, the left side, you will have a blind second shot. So ideally, hit it down that right side of the fairway if you want to see the flag.
This drive down the left side, Frank.
Yeah, it creates a blind second shot because of the mounds in front, so a little bit of guesstimation coming up here, but still only a short iron.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Right off the edge.
Just a fraction softer, then it might have just turned in.
Clean this up with a tap. And he makes it for par. One of the great things about this golf course, Frank, a variety of par 3s, different yardages. Here at the 13th, 181-yard par 3.
Yeah, this is where you have to be careful on the tee there. Anything left's just going to be eaten up by that lake. Matter of fact, if you hit one with a little bit of a hook and it catches the mound, it can still kick into the lake. So this one here, just be a little cautious on the tee.
We haven't seen a whole lot of that, Frank, but that has to feel good. Frank Tiger certainly had his adventures here at 14.
Well, we'll never forget that. Spun it left. In the end, was very, very lucky to get away with 6. Had it been 7, Garcia might have just caught him at the post, but he will, and we will, never forget 14.
Frank, it may be obvious you'd rather have a ball sitting up perfectly in these fairways as opposed to the deep rough off to the left or right. But how is a player able to take advantage when he has that good lie?
Well, anything better than that would be sitting on the tee. That is a perfect lie. It almost guarantees good contact.
Birdie try up next. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, that's disappointing. Chance to get too deep on one hole and you leave it short.
Well, the good thing is he didn't miss it, right? It didn't go past the miss. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Okay. Still has a chance for birdie, too.
Right, okay. I like that positive attitude.
Frank, the 15th hole certainly has the respect of the professionals.
But you're right. This is a positional hole where just keep the ball down the left center. You can't go too far, though, because you'll get blocked out or you'll run out of fairway. From there, it's really about knowing where the flag is, what position on the green, because this is another green that's not flat. If the second shot lands on the wrong portion of the green, it'll finish well away from the hole.
And he's made the green. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. He's made it. Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold your breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for 3?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there. The extra 10 or 15 yards, there's a little ridge down that left side. If you catch that, the ball will kick good 20 yards further forward. 20 yards is 2 clubs. I'd much rather go into 17 with a 4-iron than a 2-iron.
Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
This is a 13-footer. Right off the edge. Wow.
That hurts.
Just a little tap in here. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. It's very possibly the most famous hole in all of golf, the Island Green, the 17th at TPC Sawgrass. And when an amateur has played it, they'll come back and say, hey, I played the TPC Sawgrass, and the first question their buddies ask them is, what'd you make at 17? Well, I made an 8, but I hit it perfectly off. It just went a little too far. Well, the best in the game don't do it any better. McIlroy, Fowler, Duffner, they'd be impressed by that bunker shot. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Now one of the more difficult holes in golf, the 18th here at Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. In 2013, this hole averaged .39 strokes above par. What makes it so challenging, Frank?
Just that big body of water that to the left of 18 here that's also shared to the right of 9. Not a single fairway bunker on this in this 18th hole. So really, lack of definition. It's so hard to find a target here.
Frankie's knocking them down and picking them up.
Oh, it's just taking pins out, one after the other.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
And that does it for us here at TPC Sawgrass. Great day, Frank.
Yeah, a chance for the players to play one of the golf courses that has become so famous over the last 25 to 30 years.
For my partner Frank Nobilo and our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long from the TPC Sawgrass and EA Sports.